Okay. Um, One thing I will never do is for anybody who participates in this program to escape. Um, I will never. Even the family member involved in this, because reality is something that needs to be seen when they do what they do. There's no escapism. What they do is some of the foulest things. I'm never gonna stand here and pretend I'm a perfect human being. I'm far for perfection. But there's not a single woman, there's not a single person who can ever say that this man, me, which I'm not gonna say my name, needs to die, needs to suffer, needs to be reimbursed, unless they're participating in a program that torture some of the most vulnerable people. And that's what makes me the most disturbing. These trash that are paid, contracted, incentivized to do what they do are the nasty shit the earth can experience. They are involved in a program that does so much horrible stuff to women. The things they've done to women and the torments that you're going to hear are things that you can never comprehend. What you're going to see next is just a glimpse of how horrible they are to women, and then try to present themselves in these manners to me. They'll try to bring up whatever they can. It's like, oh, remember at the club, you groped, you did. Listen, I've done a lot of things in my younger adult that's just embarrassing, and I'm ashamed, I'm not proud of it, but I understand that's something I did in my younger days, as a young adult. But one thing I cannot let people escape from is what they do and what they've done to women and how they've destroyed their life. And then try to play these people that are avenging or making me pay for what I've done, but they're in a program that does these terrible things to women. They are systematically torturing them even in a sexual way, but think that I'm going to let them escape. For me, it takes a lot to not just let out the reality. Like, they wanted to escape into this fantasy. And I'm so thankful for all these testimonials from all these women for showing me who's talking to me. Because they're going to try to vilify you. And whatever things you've done in your past, they're going to try to use that as like, we're doing it for that. We pay avenging for that trash, fucking low life. I know what you do to women. And they send these childlike people because, this psyop is strong. Every time they try to present this, they think that if they send this childlike individual, I'm going to forget what they do. Not knowing that women have literally said, this woman, I remember her testimony, she's literally say, I want to beat this young broad who's talking to me via V2K. And I'm thinking about this trash around here who think that I'm going to let her escape. There's too many blood on your hand for me to let you leave your fantasy. And when I mean your hand, it means the hand of the program that's running this program. The program that's running does these things, which this trash are part of. Do you think because you're going to do that to me, I'm going to let you escape and make you think that this is... No. I'm one of many that you've done this to. And you've done that to women. A lot of women. And this thumbnail that you just saw is just a small glimpse of what they do to women. They try to play the psyop. That is the most disturbing. They were talking, this woman I was talking to earlier, she told me, oh man, the club, this guy just groped me or something like that. And I kind of started laughing. Because one, I remember the stupid things I've done as a young adult, but I was like, this woman who's in a program that does these horrible things to so many women is talking to me about this and want me to look at her. Oh, such a... Do you understand what you're just part of? Or you think I'm going to let you escape. You know, when I listen to the testimony, you know what they say? Oh, it's not real. Try to dismiss the testimony of this woman talking about how they get raped and tortured every day of their life on a systematic fashion. Then I see this next door trash, because what they're going to try to do is, like, as they frame me, they want to, oh, we're doing it because you did this. Trash, you are framing me because you're contracted by a government program that does these horrible things to women. You thought you're going to escape reality. Matter of fact, even my own mother, who's participating in this program, wanted to escape. This mother of mine, who's involved in this program, wanting to go into that deluded reality, and reality always comes. And so as I was going to listen to the testimony of a woman talk about how she's so tortured, which you're going to hear, that she can't even use the restroom because of what happens to her anus and the genital area, that she can't even use the restroom, I get a message from my mother to try to counter that, because they wanted me to go into this fantasy of what they want to be. Like, oh, you see, no, you're going to listen what you're part of. And early on, I'm listening to this story of this person. She travels the country, the world, and she goes into this country in Kenya, right? And she's in Mombasa, specifically. Sorry about kind of twisting my words away. In Mombasa, and they tell this guys at the beach that beach boys, and you have to be careful because people, you gotta be careful. And this woman explains to her. She starts with like very very like minimal things that they do in regard of like, oh, they steal, they do this, they do that, and they raped. And I was like, oh, right? When she said that, it caught me off guard. I kind of started like, oh, for like, just the how she just brought it up like it was nothing. Like it just caught me like, I was like, okay. He's like, wow. Like how she just went from one extreme to like another so quickly. And that kind of like just almost like made me find it funny the way she just said it like it was nothing. But they try to then make me laugh about it, because the things they will do, these people, is like they'll take these tourist women to like locations far away in the water, and like, listen, if you don't let me do these things to you, I'm gonna leave you there and I'm gonna go back there. And they end up, this girl's wanting to survive, let that happen. And they try to be like, oh, you see, and try to make me laugh at it. They even create their own reactions to make themselves believe there's something else. These people do not live in reality. They create a distorted reality where things are created, manipulated, for them to try to feel better about what they're involved in. Because they know what they sold too. It's like every time they try to escape from reality, God is, or some entity is showing, listen, this is what you're part of, and you're going to listen to the torture and the torment. I rather struggle in hell, starve to death, than be involved in what you're going to hear. These people, what you're going to hear, is going to be horrible. You won't believe that this is extinct, but you know that these people try to do this thing to me, try to make me believe, oh, you see, but for you, no, trust you involved in this. What should happen to people involved in this program? What would you do to somebody involved in a program that does this? Tell me. When I see you, or when somebody sees you, or let's remove you. Let's just say that you see somebody involved in a program that does this. What should happen to them? Should they pay? Okay. What should happen to people who destroy lives of women like that? These terrorists? Exactly. Please understand that's how I see things. Target individuals, these people are delusional. Nobody's perfect. I'll never pretend I'm perfect. But you hear what this testimony says, and you understand that these people involved in that there's no words to describe what needs to be done to these people. It's not my hands that's going to do that. Let that be handled the way it needs to be handled. Whatever way they try to create a side. For me, there's this cowards, even childlike sounding person who think, struggle. They try to sound even innocent when they talk. To sound childlike. Because when they sound like childlike, how would childlike be involved in this? Trash ass fucking trash. Like I don't see through what they try to do. As if this women have literally said that there's a bunch of females. You're gonna hear that. It's like, no, we're not. We're feminists. We're this rogue group of feminists. You're trash that torture even women. You wanted to escape into this fantasy. You can't even say the name of a pedophile that picked up kids. This is what you've truly. That's how you've been humiliated. Look at this. I was listening to the testimony of this woman. This woman was talking about how she was getting raped and everything else. And they're like, oh, not real. Try to basic gaslighting. Oh, you see? That's how you should live life. But you can talk about, oh, in that nightclub that goes group to when you're in a program here torturing this woman, raped to the. This woman says she's repeatedly raped. And that's been ongoing for years for her. And she's like, oh my gosh, that one I was at club, I was like, look at you. You're in the program that does this. Look at these faces of the women. Look. Broken down because they've been sexually tortured, and you trash us talk about it. And they try to make up. I remember you grew up. What? Listen, I'm not perfect, but I can see things in the right perspective, in the right perception. Stupid thing. You talk about a moment that made you feel uncomfortable. We're talking about a systematic thing that's done to these women to kill them. Never. You hear a woman zapped in the rectum. You hear a woman being zapped in the genitals for 3 years of the same things. You hear of all kind of horrible things. You hear this woman talk about what's been happening to her and her young child. You know sexual torture is involved. For me, when I make these videos, it's for this trash that dedicate their time living this life. Their job, you know what it is? The war they're in is to erase reality. They're like, oh, you're going to lose. Meaning that you're going to lose this battle of you bringing up the perspective of you who involved in this program, torturing women and children, who try to bring up whatever stupidity I've done. When you're involved in a program that have done horrible things and is destroying women's life and children, by the way, but I will stick into the women. Because you're sending these childlike people who even women have called out the fact that this some of them are surprised how young they are. Surprised some young broad is involved. Some of them saying literally they sound like middle schooler talking to them. They have these tactics of trying to sound childlike to agitate you, to utilize childlike individuals. And be like, oh, we have war. Try to disorient you. Because obviously it's not war, it's a program where human subjects are used to develop this technology. And this technology can rape you remotely, which is what's happening to this woman. Trash. Then they want to be around and make them seem like I should look at them and forget. Like I said, for people involved in a program that does these things, to women, what should happen? They talk about you're going to die in our hell. Oh, the hell of people who torture women sexually like that. So for these people, perhaps you, in a program that torture women in these ways, what should happen to you? Maybe you should die in different hell. Maybe you should end up in a different hell. Trash ass, this coward low life. They don't even want to be seen because I'm going to see them and remember all these horrible things they've done to women. And even children. Cowards. Then try to use their children to shield them. Because the shield, meaning that they're going to force people to get stimulation toward their children. And so they can... Because when I look at them, when I move this perp, every time I bring up this, she gets so agitated. She wants to almost cry. I was like, why? You're crying because you're in a program that does these things? And you wanted to live your fantasy? What the fuck you thought? You thought I was going to let you live your fantasy? That you were some kind of feminist because what, you're a woman? Listen to this woman literally say there's so many females involved in this. What kind of women be involved in this? This shit. Targeting on the individuals, I would rather scream, I would rather cry, I would rather starve to death. I would be in pain than having to dedicate my life in a program where these horrible things you're gonna hear is what I'm part of. But then try to delude, nah, for you, I'm gonna block out all these horrible things that we do to these women, but I'm gonna focus on you. I'm gonna block out this horrible systematic torture that is even sexual toward these women and even children, but for you, it's time. You'll pay. Forget about the mass shooting. Forget about the torturing of these women sexually, how we zap their genitals. But for you, you're gonna pay. It's fucking trash. Delusional shits. And then try to be all fierce. They can't even say the name of a pedophile that picked up kids as young as 14 years old. You know, I was offered to either have the option of being tortured here in this misery, or have the option to go somewhere where I'm around people who are related to me. Maybe the torture will not be at the same level, but I'll be surrounded by people who I have some kind of connection with that can easily gaslight me in a way that this trash can never gaslight me too. This trash, and look at this shit, and I'll be somewhere way, maybe a beautiful place, but the emotional aspect of it will be so hard for me to kind of see things for what they are. Here I can starve in the street, but at least I know it's like you guys did not live your fantasy. I'd rather die in the street, freezing, become an icicle, like they say, than having to live in this apartment, do what they do. This dignity in this death. I'm not perfect. I will never pretend I'm perfect. But if you think that people who do this horrible thing that you're going to hear are the one who are going to make me pay, what do you think is going to happen to people who do what you're going to hear? You guys who involved in this program should pay for all the lives you destroyed. For being involved in a program that destroyed life of people, the most vulnerable. And if you try to care about only the women's life, listen to what these women are going through and how their life have been systematically destroyed. I can never let them escape. I rather starve to death than let them escape.
And I'm asking you to help us. And I'm asking you to help us end this crime against humanity, which has impacted men, women, children all around the world.
Hi, I'm Wan from Malaysia. My family are targeted individuals. We are victims of cyber torture. And I will not give up. I will fight to the end.
And I'm a victim of organized
We need this to stop.
electronic harassment. And I'm speaking to you on International Targeted Individual Day. I live in the U.S., in Illinois, and I'm a victim of organized
We need this to stop.
electronic harassment, microwave torture.
I've been targeted for 9 years.
24/7.
Please become more aware of this crime and those that the crime is being committed against. We need your support and help in ending this crime.
Hello, my name is Wendy Brown. I'm a targeted individual who is living in New Zealand, but my targeting began in California. I'm an American citizen, and the targeting continues in New Zealand. I'm making this video in remembrance of Targeted Individual Day, our third annual Targeted Individual Day. And I'm asking that every honest-hearted human being open their eyes to a crime.
My name is Jeanette. I am 56 years old and I live in Baltimore, Maryland. I am a victim of covert electronic harassment and torture. I am a targeted individual.
Wishes to hand down.
Why? Because it hurts. I need help. I need you guys to come get me. It's brutally painful. I have a house, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, first floor, second floor, 2 garage, backyard, land, everything. Can't live in my house. My neighbors are shooting direct energy weapons through my house. I hold my heart like this. You know why? Because it hurts. I need help. I need you guys to come get me. come get me. Oh, Lord, because I think I'm dying. I'm making this video
in an attempt to expose this horrific nightmare.
Hello, I'm making this video to honor the 3rd annual Targeted Individual Day. That's August 29th, 2020. My name is Linda Marie Sharp in Mendocino County, California, United States. I am a targeted person and have been for over 12 years. I am electronically tortured by directed energy weapons.
Hi, my name is
military medical research. I too believe my experience is referred to as no-touch torture, utilizing defense technologies. Jonathan Marino, he basically predicted all this a number of years ago in his book Undue Risk. I'm asking you to help initiate a congressional investigation. We've all come a long way. This is what is needed. We want to have the accounts of this extreme human rights abuse that's going on in our country documented and heard, all of the accounts. We also need what was done during the Clinton administration, which is a major declassification of some of these documents that are hiding what's been going on. I speak for many when I say we've suffered long enough. My personal experience has been 10 years. I've been vilified. I've been ostracized. I've been tortured. I have burns on my body. I'm an American. I have rights. The answer to the question, the big question today, could it happen today? The answer is yes, it is happening today. It is happening for some of us every day. I am begging for you.
Ms. Catherine Nestor.
My name is Catherine Nestor, and I'm from Pennsylvania. This commission has spoken of a long history of abuse of the human research subject. Although no one mentioned MKUltra today, President Clinton recently apologized for this. My young child and I have been used as non-consensual test subjects. We have been subjected to COINTELPRO-like stalking, remote neural monitoring, and electromagnetic torture, resulting in psychological and physical damage. And I won't go into the details of that because I have 4 pages written in here that is very similar to Connie's testimony. Please do not wait 70 years to investigate this. I ask Dr. Amy Gutman to begin today. There is new work for the Commission for Human Subject Protection on our shores. And please give us a dramatic response, Susan. And please give us a congressional hearing. Thank you.
You mean as far as the Justice Department feeling me?
Well, in terms of your being a victim.
You mean what I'm feeling?
Yeah, explain a little bit to me how you perceive yourself as being.
I have actual photographs of burns on my body. When I went to my doctor, the response was, how do I know you didn't do that to yourself? How do you even address that? I've passed 2 psychological evaluations, not 1 but 2. The one physician said, you're mentally sound as a bell. He said, I don't have any idea what's going on with you. When I go to sleep, when I go to try to sleep, I feel like I'm being lit up like a Christmas tree. I feel every cell in my body just bouncing out of my body. I can't even describe it. I get electric shock of my rectum. I get electric shock of my nose. I've woken up with burns on the end of my tongue. I've had burns on the palms of both of my hands. I vibrate. I can barely hold a piece of paper without quivering. Does that answer your question?
I'm trying to find what's the source of the...
The source are these exotic weapons. They talk about in 2970 that if you would pass it, it might give other communities the courage to do the same thing and show our Defense Department we are not the enemy. We are not to be attacked. We are not terrorists. Most of us are defenseless women. They sent me to the mental ward because they said I did this to myself. Oh, it never hurt me. I have been a victim since 2007. You can't see this. Life has been destroyed in every possible way, and every day has been a struggle for me. I'm very grateful to be before you today.
There are also body movements such as rocking my pelvic area back and forth, repeated rubbing sensations, the sensation of something going up my crotch and in and out, etc. They also often force vaginal discharges and zap my genitals at the same time. These sexual assaults are present throughout the day, every day, and anytime I am awakened at night, every night. They range from mild to extreme, but usually involve daily and nightly continuous assaults for the past 3 years now. When severe, the zaps to the genitals feel as though someone is electrocuting my genitals repeatedly. I also often see highly disturbing pornographic images and videos, including highly disturbing pedophilia type of images, and difficult and an immense battle just to even sit on the toilet to go to the bathroom. Not only because of the bowel and bladder manipulation, but also because of the frequent severe sexual assaults on the genitals, my butt and anus, shaking, vibrating, and rocking my body back and forth, and forced eyeball movements, and phantom touch sensations doing rubbing sensations, etc.
No privacy, like whatsoever. Your social life is ruined because you start to feel like you can't trust anybody, because it seems like somebody just put some kind of spotlight on you, and that everybody is not really conspiring to get you. It's more of trying to drive you crazy. It's more of a psychological and emotional attack than anything. And this is the first time that we've spoken out about it, because I've been seeing a lot of other videos, and I think that it helps to talk about, what's going on, because you may be able to prevent someone else from making the same mistakes that you made. And we made a lot of mistakes. We called the police. That was no help. We left our home. We quit jobs because of it. We've cut friends off because of it. We've cut family members off. So the only way to really get through something like this is to be able to vent and to do as much research as possible. For other people that are experiencing this, that are targeted individuals, I would suggest that you start documenting as much as you can, start videotaping, recording as much as you can, because the thing that promotes this is that you can't prove it, and that these people can stay hidden, and that's why it lasts for so long. I'm seeing people that have been going through it since 2005, and they can't seem to get it to stop. But it's because they make sure you can't pinpoint one person. It's everybody. It's all the time, and so it discredits your character and your state of mind, which, starts to make everybody believe something's wrong with you, and then you start believing something's wrong with you. But it's not you, and you know that it's not you. It's just hard to prove. But don't go get, mental health help. Don't see a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Most of the time, they're involved too. Your police are involved, your firemen, ambulance, people at hospitals, they're all involved.
Really, really disgruntled and pissed off. Yeah, you should get shot in the face. Sound like an angry ass old person. Then a couple of days later, a female said the same thing. Don't get shot in the face. Stupid shit like that. But what I really noticed is, with the Voices Go, it's a bunch of females. And I'm like, bro, really? You're not a woman. What real woman would stalk another female or sit back and allow that to go on? You really think they think it's nothing wrong with them? Basically, they call me retarded.
Or voice to skull.
This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real time and at the speed of thought. And it also includes the manipulation of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions in the person's mind. Additionally, the targeting is all highly perverted and sexual, as well as just